Hello, fourth graders. Mr. Carter right here. Ready to do HomeLink 3.9. Let's get going. Put your name on this. All right. So we are representing fractions and decimals here. If the grid is the whole, then what part of each grid is shaded? Write a fraction and a decimal below each grid. Well, each grid we're noticing here is 100 small little boxes. So we know that the fraction is going to be out of 100. So the first one, if you look at it, it's got 3 columns of 10 shaded. So that would be 10, 20, 30 if we count by 10. So that would be 30 out of 100, which would be our whole. So our fraction would be 30 hundredths. And our decimal for that would be 0.30. Because we're doing it out of 100, we have to add the 0 here as the placeholder because this is our hundredths spot here in the place value. Let's look at number 2. So if I look quickly, I notice that there's 1 out of 10 missing, so that would be 9. So you have 9 out of 100 is our whole shaded in. So that would be 9 out of 100. And our decimal for that would be 0.09 because it's 9 hundredths. And that, again, this place here is our hundredths place. So we have to have the placeholder here because if you did it 0.9, that would be 90 hundredths. So that would be incorrect. So it's got to be 0.09. If we're looking at number 3, again, we can count by tens because we know that each column is 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then in this one here we have 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. So that would be 65 out of 100. And our decimal for that would be 0.65 for 65 hundredths. Now they're asking you to color in 0.8 or 8 hundredths or 8 tenths of the grid. So if I was to color in 80 hundredths, because again we can write in 80 hundredths this way, 0.80, and that would mean that we'd have to color in 80 squares. So I'm just going to color in here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tenths, because each column is a tenth, or 80 out of 100. So you want to leave 2 columns not shaded because that would be 20 hundredths, or the rest of the hundredth. But anyway, so this would be 80 100ths. So now we're coloring in 4 hundredths of the grid. So again, this is our hundredths place. So we want to color only 4 out of 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. A common mistake would be to color in 4 columns because you're thinking it's 4 tenths. But you want to be careful. This is then the hundredths place. So now for number 6, we're coloring in 53 hundredths of the grid. So again, you want to count by tens. So this would be 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30, 40, 50. So I'm going to color my 50 here, shade it a little bit better. And then 3, or this over here, 1, 2, 3. So that would be 53 hundredths. Okay, so let's look at our practice down here. So the numbers 81, 27, and 45 are all multiples of 1, what, and what. Okay, so when I was looking at these numbers, I noticed that 81 is 9 times 9, 27 is 9 times 3, and 45 is 9 times 5. So they are all, first of all, multiples of 9. But then when I'm thinking about the number 9, I know that 9 is also 3 times 3. So you could say 3 times 3 over here. So you can say, every time you see 9, you could say 3 times 3. So that means, so like if I look at 27, it would be 3 times 3 times 3. And then over here, it would be 3 times 3 times 5. So that was telling me that it could also be not only a multiple, 81 is not only a multiple of 9, but it's also a multiple of 3. So the answer is 1, 3, and 9. And for 8, they were asking you to list the first 10 multiples of 6. Let me straighten this out here. So again, when you see the word multiples, you're counting by that number. So we're counting by 6's. So it would be 6, then 12, then 18, 24, 30, 36, and I'm counting by 6's quickly, 42, 48, 54, and 60. And if you want to check your work, you can go like, okay, yeah, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, and so on. This would be 6 times 5, 6 times 6, 6 times 7, 6 times 8, 6 times 9, and finally 6 times 10. All right, that's it for right now. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, you can always come see me.